this episode of Kennedy Saves the World. It's happy hour. I've got cherries and Adam Klotz. Welcome to
I love that.
the podcast.
You've
been here, but welcome to happy hour.
This is the one I've been looking forward to.
That's absolutely right. So I'm making you a dirty Shirley.
Dirty Shirley.
Yep, there's some coconut water in there already.
Mm-hmm. Mocktails.
That's right. That's right, Adam. You know the corporate line. Very good.
Yeah, I do.
Okay, so here we go. So we've got 2. Do you want 3 cherries or 2?
I want whatever you're having.
Okay, I'll have
I
2.
believe that you know how to do it.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Here we go, Dirty Shirley. So a Dirty Shirley is a Shirley Temple with friends. So our friend today, normally your friend would be vodka.
Right.
But we don't drink vodka on podcasts, do we, Adam?
No, we do not.
That's absolutely right. So it's really just this grenadine that it comes in, which is funny because this is like, these are hippie cherries that I got at Whole Foods.
And you're muddling them currently. Is that what's happening?
I'm trying to like stab and mash all at the same time. I didn't bring my muddler. I've got a great muddler, but screw it. Mm-hmm. And then, we just pour a little dabble,
extra,
do ya?
A little extra cherry.
Little cherry juice. We spilled on the console, and Matt is going to come in and give us a talking to. This is
just
Sprite,
confessing things left and right in here.
0 sugar.
Good. Got to watch our figures.
Everyone's got to be bikini ready because we never know when we're going to Cabo.
You never know.
Or Aruba. When the phone call comes in the middle of the night,
you go. You
gotta
go
be
to
ready.
Aruba.
So there you go. There's your Dirty Shirley. Gonna mix it up, make it all pretty.
I've needed this after a long week.
Did you?
I didn't have a long week, but
Is there any? Boo! Okay. Cheers to Adam Klotz.
Cheers.
Weather and beyond.
And beyond.
Where are you from?
I'm from Warsaw, Indiana.
Oh yeah.
Oh, you're not from. You were born in Indiana. I was born in Indiana.
But my family's from there, so I consider myself to be from Indiana.
Oh, really?
And Oregon. Yeah.
Okay.
Like I feel like Indiana's within
like your
me.
roots. So you've spent time there.
A lot of time there.
Okay.
Yeah, I take my girls there still every summer.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
Where? Indianapolis?
No, Seymour, Brownstown.
Okay. That's like southern Indiana.
It sure
is.
That's
a different Indiana.
Yeah, that's not like the Midwest. That's
I think
like,
every state thinks
yeah,
this.
we're going to go coon hunting tonight and maybe get some pawpaws and make a little Indiana banana wine.
I think every state thinks this, but in northern Indiana, I thought like as soon as you hit Indianapolis and went south of Indianapolis, it was a different place. It got very...
Really does, yeah. There's
I think
so much banjo where my family is from that I'm very proud of that.
Every state thinks that, probably. Yeah. There's some imaginary line.
But there really is an Indiana. Like, they are 2 different states.
They're totally 2 different states.
Because people from the north are like, oh, it's just outside Chicago.
But people in Michigan, just to the north of me, I think thought the same thing about me as I thought about the people in southern Indiana.
Okay. But the people in southern Indiana, they're like, no, this is the upper south. This is not the Midwest.
It really is the upper south, yeah. And you start to get those rolling hills. A little more country.
Oh, yeah, it's country. Like, for sure.
You did a great job on this.
Oh, thank you, Adam.
Delicious.
Isn't it lovely?
Yeah, it's really good.
So I have never had one of these, but I'd read about it so much last summer because it was the drink of the summer last year. And since summer has just left us,
I thought... the summer off last summer?
That we could... Yeah, that really did.
Saving it for this summer?
No, it was... last summer was like an Aperol Spritz summer. Because I got real excited about the Aperol Spritz.
Yeah.
And it was abundant, so I took advantage of that manifestation. I manifested Aperol Spritzes.
For 20 years, it's been a beer summer for me.
Oh, good for you.
Mostly.
What do you prefer?
What kind of beer?
Yeah?
Miller Lite.
Did it used to be Bud Light?
No, I've never was a Bud Light guy.
Yeah.
I honestly...
Sure, Adam.
I like those like beers that the yuppie hipsters want. So I want to go drink like a PBR.
Yeah.
When I was in the Midwest, I went to PBR. Here I went Narragansett, which is like a northeastern version of that. Or like a Miller High Life. I want like the cheapest beer they have at the bar.
Okay.
So
what does that do for you? Does it even get you tipsy?
Well, here's the thing. No matter what, I'm going to drink... and this isn't planned. I'm just like I'm going to drink the same amount of drinks.
Okay.
So if I start with like a whiskey and whatever,
you're just
I'm going to drink like 10. I'm going to drink 10 drinks.
Then you're asking for it.
Yeah. So if I
Is that what happened the night you got beat up on the subway? If I drink 10 beers, no. I told them I had several drinks, but it wasn't 10 drinks. I was actually in pretty good shape that night. Yeah. Thank God.
Truly.
So if you don't know, Adam, I think I was looking at that camera when I did the intro, which is fine. It's happy hour. No one cares. Everyone's already drunk. Not us, though, because we're having mocktails.
Yeah.
So
you
were beaten within an inch of your life. It was really,
It was
really
not within
scary.
an inch of my life.
You were so bloodied. Your eyeball was
but
bloody.
I did just complain to my brother. This was back in January of the previous year. My knee
still
messed up.
hurts,
Yeah,
right?
it
Did
still
you have
hurts.
surgery on it?
No.
Did
There
you
was
go
just,
see an ortho? Did you see a
they
knee
just said
person?
there was deep bone bruising, and if I didn't do anything, I probably won't get arthritis. But I'm surprised I still feel it this much longer.
Yeah, that means something else is going on. There's another structure in play than a deep bone bruising.
I don't know.
I've bruised my bones deeply. That doesn't hurt.
It doesn't hurt.
Bunch of other
Maybe it's in
things
my
do.
mind. Maybe it's deep in my mind.
That could be. I mean, that could be. I do believe that we hold trauma in different parts of our body.
Yeah.
Like, have you ever gotten a massage and they poke on something and you're like, ah, but it's not, you're not doing that because of the pain. It's like something that you shove deep down inside is like clinging to that
A
part of your body.
childhood trauma
Yes.
that the masseuse
Yes.
is tapping into.
Yes. So I really feel like either masseuses should study psychology or psychiatrists should get into massage. But there needs to be an overlap.
This would clean up in this city.
Amen. Can you
Clean
imagine?
up in this city.
I have a therapy appointment. Oh, psychologist? No. It's my massage therapist
Yeah, but
who's actually a registered psychiatrist.
I think this is a great idea.
Yeah, and
all
then
the
just
different things that you
poking all
can do.
But see, that's what people love. Like, they want to be told something is wrong with them, and the person they're going to is the only person who can make that better. That's what bougie people are addicted to.
Yeah, this is brilliant. I tried therapy once. It didn't really work for me. I didn't stick. But I picked someone who liked to go walking with their clients in their bare feet so you could ground yourself with Mother Earth.
I don't like that. That's too loosey-goosey.
Well,
Give me some data.
You know what? It didn't stick, but I was like, oh,
I
interesting
cannot-
approach.
Okay, but I would
Tell me
be
more.
obsessed with the toenails, and if there were like
Well,
a
you got to
micron of fungus, I would be like,
go get a
"Peace
pedicure
out."
before you do this.
Yes, but the therapists. So when I was in college, I went to Greece for a term, studying archaeology and classics and all that stuff, and our professor had no self-awareness because academics don't have self-awareness. Like,
No.
they're so deep in their heads,
Mhm.
they're not really worried about, like, if an academic is hot, they have no idea. But they don't worry about this. So we all went swimming in the Mediterranean, and she put on her one piece and she had a jungle bush that was flared out both sides, and we were all looking at her like, didn't occur to you at any point, like, you have options. You can nair, you can wax, you can use an electric
Ahead
razor.
of her time, those are coming back in style.
Yeah, maybe. That's hey, maybe she was maybe it's retro now and she's looking now and go, see? Told you, bitches.
I knew what I was doing.
Yeah.
I knew exactly what I was doing.
Have you seen that show on HBO? The new one?
No.
I wrote about it for the Daily Mail. Naked Attraction.
No, I've not heard about this.
Don't watch it. It's I watched it.
Is it like Naked and Afraid? You know that
no,
show?
that actually has purpose because you get over the nudity and they blur everything out.
Uh-huh.
This, you've got 6 people in light boxes like these colors, and there's a screen, a translucent screen that you can't see through, but you can see the shadow of someone in there. And they slowly, one person is selecting another person out of 6 potential candidates. They raise the screen first to the genitals, and that's the first thing you see about someone. It is not sexy.
It seems like an interesting psychology experiment.
That's how they're trying to push it, but it's just weirdos watching weirdos. Like,
Well, it's clearly that.
yeah, but it's like, just go watch porn. Like, if that's
That's
what you
not
need,
porn.
it's not pornographic. It's not sexy at all. You don't watch it and go, yeah, woo, chicka pow pow. You're
Yeah.
like, oh,
It's like a meat market.
it's
like
too
a true
much
meat market.
But it's too much butchery just right in front of you. It's very strange.
I will check out this article and not the show.
Yeah, you don't need to. And then I wrote about it after watching it, and I was like, oh.
Are people watching this?
Yeah, I mean, they watch it. Was on in the UK for 7 seasons, and now HBO
course,
bought it.
we gotta do it.
Maybe because of the writer's strike. Like,
Yeah.
oh, we need something.
We need some.
Give us naked wang.
We need some naked people.
Yeah, it's too much. It's too much. Like, what's next?
Did you see anybody on there that was like kind of cute or into it?
No, it was weird because
No,
you
just
start
too
with that, and
just
then
too uncomfortable.
and then they get to the pecs, and you're like, oh, I don't know why. Like, that was even more like, oh, stop.
Gross. Put it back down. Back to the waist. I want to see him waist down. Too high.
But it just reminded me, like, everyone has a different version of appropriate body hair. And I think we're obsessed with it in this country. In the UK, Not so much.
Yeah.
No, they don't have the grooming obsession that we do in the
Oh, so
United
this
States.
is the UK's version. This
Yes.
isn't a new...
No, if they were Americans, it would all be like super crazy perfect.
Yeah.
But these are like
They're not just remaking a version for us.
No,
They're just
which I
plain
thought
old
they would.
episodes.
Yeah, exactly. It's a writer strike by. It's like, we don't know how long this is going. Might as well buy some British nudity.
You know what? I think maybe I've seen some clips of this on the internet before, randomly. Like, why are these people staring at each other naked?
It's so weird. And then they try and justify it by 87% of women say they prefer girth to length. And it's like, no, they didn't. And you didn't do a poll. You're just making that up.
I don't know. I just believed it. I was like, all right.
What is the worst weather event you've ever covered?
Oh, wow. We're going to talk about real things.
I mean, it doesn't get any more real than Butcher Wang, so we can make a nice pivot back to PGville.
When I first, I was doing local TV weather.
Where?
Prior to coming to here. I was in Atlanta. I was in Panama City Beach, Florida. I was in Lima, Ohio.
I was in Panama City Beach, Florida.
Are you kidding
for
me?
spring break in the 90s.
Oh, yeah. Well, I was also there as a spring breaker.
Yeah.
And I was like, I just got to get back.
Good for you.
How can I pull this off? Were you there working?
Yeah, it was the MTV.
Can I know you asked me a question, but can I take a quick detour and
Whatever
ask you
you want.
something?
It's happy hour,
I
Adam.
told somebody I was coming here, and they were like, Kennedy, I remember her as a VJ in the 90s. And they said, and this is what I want to know if it's true.
Yeah.
There was this cartoon, Daria. Do you remember that cartoon?
Very well, yeah.
This person, she believed that cartoon was based on you. Is that?
No.
That's not a true thing.
I know Mike Judge. I've known him for 33 years. And I know that is not based on me.
It's not based on you. So,
But that's very flattering.
okay, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
So I was like, no way. And then I Googled it, and I couldn't find
Yeah.
any evidence of that. But when I Googled it, I saw somebody said, who knows if the internet's real,
Yeah.
there was a character on Murphy Brown.
That is true.
That is based on you.
That is true.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. That.
Oh.
McGovern. And it wasn't a flattering portrayal, and I never watched it.
Oh.
Because I was like mortified by it.
Oh, you just gotta laugh at yourself.
I know, but
I
at the
haven't seen it.
time I
don't
was
know.
like really embarrassed. I'm like, oh my God, everyone thinks I'm such a dipshit. But now I would completely embrace it now.
Yeah.
But
McGovern.
yeah.
Amazing. That's
Yep.
that's what it said. And I remember I watched a little bit of Murphy Brown, but I couldn't tell you
Yeah.
characters. I don't know.
Yep. So that was like
That is
a
incredible.
conservative
I
with
love
the
that.
name McGovern.
Okay.
Yeah, which I thought was very. Now I think it's funny. Like now there are a lot of things I wish I had leaned into and embraced, but I was too self-conscious to really like, and I wish I didn't worry about what other people thought. And if you go back and you watch clips of me on MTV and how I was dressed, you would assume that I didn't care what other people thought because there was not a great deal of self-awareness like my archaeology professor in Athens.
But maybe were you trying to give that perception? Like that you
No,
didn't
I thought
care?
I looked great.
Oh, you weren't trying to be like, I'm thinking really hard about making it look like I don't care.
No.
No,
I was like,
you just thought you looked awesome.
One of my favorite memories is because we had one hair and makeup room for everybody. And there were a lot of VJs, there were a lot of people hosting different shows, there were a lot of MTV News people, and we all had to share this very small space. And so Kurt Loder was in there getting makeup, and I'm spraying my Kiehl's leave-in conditioner all over my big hair. And I just remember Kurt Loder doing this. And he was so patient, but he just kept getting my hairspray in his face, and I felt really bad. But he didn't complain because it was the 90s. And you know what? We didn't bitch about self-care, and we didn't complain, and we didn't demand 4-day work weeks.
Okay, but you were...
We demanded 3-day work weeks.
You were, though... yeah, I would love a 4-day work week, 3-day work week. You were self-conscious, or you were self-conscious then, and
Yeah.
now you'd lean into it. Do you think... Is that something that's changed in society? Do you think people now would lean into it because we've all learned that this is funny, or is it just because we're young? Because when I was young, I was self-conscious.
Yeah.
But I feel like now, I love it when people make fun of me.
Yeah, me too. But I think that's part of the maturation process, like part of aging.
So you think like a kid today would feel the same way?
I think it's even worse. I think
yeah.
with social media, like I've got 2 teenage daughters, and I see what they look at, and I eavesdrop on their conversations with their friends. Like they don't know, don't tell them, please. And I hear how they process things, and I think it's so much more difficult. Like that layer added on is even worse. Because you can be ostracized in an entirely new way. And people can make fun of you and pick you apart and call you names and do it anonymously, but very publicly at the same time. And I think that is awful. And
But
I kind of hate it. Like, it makes me really sad because I think,
does.
what would my daughter's lives be like if they didn't have smartphones?
Oh my
And
God.
that depresses me.
That is depressing. My hope, as I even asked that question, and maybe this is unrealistic, was that you see, like I've seen, no matter what you do,
Yeah.
people are going to be pissed off about something.
Yeah.
And maybe you learn to like let it all just like wash over you. Who
Yeah.
cares?
I mean, I always read like hate mail segments on MTV. I always thought that was very funny because for some reason, and I still don't know why, I inspired so much rage. Like, people were so mad at me. And
That means you're doing something right.
That was before they found out I was a Republican. Then once they found out I was a Republican, it was just like
a whole different
a
reason.
tsunami of
whole
hatred
different reason.
constantly. Yeah. And then on top of that, people were jealous because they looked at me and like, why are you on TV? And a lot of people are like, I should be on TV. And it's like, well, guess what? You're not. So wiener neener.
Yeah, there you go. I am chugging this mocktail in a way
Go
that
for it.
in a way that you can't keep up.
Yes. Well, no, I don't know. You might have to chug mine too.
Here's the thing.
That's what she said.
I had my yearly annual physical this year.
Nice. How was it?
Just like an hour ago. So I've fasted and I haven't eaten today.
Oh, that's
So this
great.
so I'm starting to feel this mocktail a little bit. Is what I'm saying.
you would. It's the coconut water
It's
that
the
you're
coconut
feeling.
water.
Yeah.
It's getting my brain.
Because it's
It's getting my
the
brain.
potassium that's feeding your innards.
Yeah, I
You're hungry.
fasted. The potassium, it's just hitting me. It's getting me pretty good right now.
That's what happens. That's what makes happy hour so happy.
Yes, it does.
Is it raises your blood sugar and your endorphins.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, continue triumphing over the weather in every imaginable way.
Thank you.
Is this your ideal job?
Yeah, I mean, I would like to do more at Fox.
Do you want to do more news stuff or do you want to stay in weather?
I want to stay in weather, but I want to do more news stuff. I mean, if you look, I don't have to look very far. Like if you look at Janice Dean and
Yeah.
what she's done in her career,
Great branding.
I mean, there's plenty of opportunity to
Mm-hmm.
to stay in weather and do a lot of really great things. She's doing great
Marry
stuff.
a hunky firefighter.
Well, I mean, as I said, there's a lot of opportunity to do some great things.
That's what Janice did.
I know that's what Janice
It
did.
really helped build out the brand, I think.
Yeah, I mean, it's good to have a well-rounded brand. So,
Amen.
yeah, I'll keep that in mind.
Yeah, whatever you got to do, let me know. I will high five you and hand you some coconut water on your journey because it's a marathon, it's not a sprint, and you need to stay hydrated for
You
it.
got to stay hydrated.
Absolutely.
Great advice.
Adam Klotz, thank you for joining me this happy hour.
Thank you for having me.
Amen. This has been Kennedy Saves the World. I'm Kennedy. Listen ad-free with a Fox News Podcast Plus subscription on Apple Podcasts, and Amazon Prime members can listen to this show ad-free on the Amazon Music app. Oh, go ahead and leave me a review while you're there. I'd love to hear what you have to say. You've been listening to Kennedy Saves the World on the Fox News Podcast Network.